Hey guys, there's at least 2 of you out there somewhere. How are you all? So I hope you had a great weekend, whether you celebrate Easter or something else. I'm just sitting here this morning with my beer mug full of tea and playing with a few things. I thought I would just pop on live. Why not? So before I left to go to Las Vegas, I started gathering a bunch of old electronic small appliances and things from around the house that are no longer functioning. I know I've seen Shannon Green many times in the past disassemble things to save parts, and I think it was Kathy Rose or somebody before I left that did the same thing. So I was going to take all of these things apart, none of whom work anymore. Hey, Aunt Beck's Creations, good morning. While I was in Las Vegas, I did a lot of wandering around with Michelle from Lady Blue Studios, and usually when I'm traveling, I collect 1 or 2 smashed pennies from wherever I happen to be, and I just use heavy gel medium to stick them in my journal. This time, because Michelle is a smashed penny collector, I have a lot of them. So I think they're going to be added to my pieces and parts pile. I think at some point I'm going to drill holes in them and maybe put them on a journal charm or something. I know, aren't they great? I even saved the one that is smashed incorrectly, which in itself is interesting. So they're probably going to go in this box of stuff that I'm going to do this morning. We went to Red Rock Canyon and I got this copper coin with a turtle on it. That's a collector coin. And then I also got this little thing from Red Rock Canyon, this other little silver coin thing. I, of course, you know, Aaron, if you've seen Aaron from Imperfect Impulses video, he was talking about meeting up with people in Las Vegas. Yes, that was me. It's okay. He didn't need to mention my name or not, but his name is going to come up in my video because of this little thing, a zipper pull. So yes, we convinced him into picking up trash in the middle of downtown. And you know, if I could have fit those symbols in my suitcase, I would have brought them home. But we convinced him he needed to have them, and we want to see what he makes of them. But later on, I was in a store parking lot with the girls, and I found this broken zipper pull, which of course I had to pick up. So that's going to go in the box this morning. Oh, thank you. Yeah, aren't there some pretty desert wildflowers out there? And then I also picked up a bunch of these souvenir poker chips. Now, I had all of these from previous Las Vegas trips. These are mostly from the McDonald's store. I mean, not McDonald's store. Holy cow. M&M World. I need more caffeine, I'm telling you. These are mostly from M&M World. And I've had these from previous trips. This time I picked up some from Walgreens, actually. So I think at some point also, these are going to go in this parts box, and at some point I'm going to drill holes or something in these and make them into some kind of a charm, or I don't know, a bracelet or something. So I've got all these kind of random bits, and I dug up a box from the garage. It's going to be like a random chunky bits box, I think is what I'm going to call it. Random chunky bits. I kind of like that, random chunky bits. All right. So I've got a few different things here, and I've got some tools. Oops. All right. Because I don't know what I'm going to need. I've got my reading glasses so I can see what I'm doing. We're going to start on the small one. So none of these pieces are functioning, like I said. These are all broken electronics, even the adding machine. And so this is from one of my daughter's 2 wireless mice that don't work anymore. Plus, she says they're a little bit too little girly for a 21, almost 22-year-old. She's probably right, but anyway. So I don't know. This is the like wireless antenna thing. Wireless, yeah, receiver. There may be nothing in here, but let's find out. If you're going to do this, the point is not to hurt yourself. So keep your fingers out of the way. If you're going to like use a hammer or an X-Acto knife or something, please take all caution. And of course, these pieces can be used in mixed media, but I'm more interested in using some of these pieces in like journal charms and stuff. Oops. Okay, so the plastic is garbage. I'm not going to save that, but look at that inside that little antenna thing. Some interesting bits in there. I think I kind of like it just the way it is. So we're going to save that and toss that in the box. That was easy. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. So now if I'm going to start doing this, now you really can't throw anything away at my house because, you know, we were already saving packaging labels and everything. And before anybody asks, yes, Aaron from Imperfect Impulses is as nice a guy in real life as he seems to be on YouTube. FYI. Very nice guy. All right. We spent a lot of time laughing, which was good. Okay, so here's some batteries, which can't... Hey, Michael, how are you? Can't do mixed media with them. In fact, can't even dispose of them in California in the regular garbage. We have to put them into special garbage. So we're just disassembling some stuff this morning, chit-chatting about the Las Vegas trip, which was a lot of fun. It was like all of us had known each other forever. And yes, I have glasses on. I have my reading glasses on, but they will protect things from popping up into my face. Plus, I can kind of see what I'm doing. So I have all these little tiny screwdrivers and things I can use on this from when I used to be a licensed dispensing optician, but also like this one is from my grandmother's stash of crafty supplies that she had when she passed, that I inherited. Oh, well, there's a screw under there. You know, sometimes you just, instead of breaking it, just take the screws out. Holy cow. So I think all of us are still recovering. I don't think we got much sleep while we were gone. Kind of seeing is good, right? That's what I thought, Dee Dee. I thought kind of seeing would be good. I'm killing mice. Yeah, actually, these mice are already dead. They don't work very well. And my daughter, these are my daughter's mice. I did not know she was amassing a collection in her room. And she went and bought herself a new one because these weren't working very well. And she said they were too little girly for her to keep using at almost 22 years old. And I just kind of rolled my eyes to that. And she was going to throw them away. And I said, can I have them? How many do you have? She says, I have 2 of them. Do you want them both? I said, yeah. I had just watched Kathy's video where she disassembled mice. And, you know, Shannon, I know, does stuff like this all the time, too. And I wanted to take some of this stuff and, you know, use some of the parts to make maybe some jewelry charms or journal charms or something. It's kind of a neat little thing. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's cool. Look at these. This looks like a bug to me. There's his 2 eyeballs. That could be interesting. So he's going to go in the box. There's no sleep in Vegas. No, and I'm adding it to, we're going to call it the Chunky Bits box. I got some of these smash pennies in Las Vegas. And I had some of these poker chips from past trips in Las Vegas. And I picked up a few more. And, you know, we didn't only make, I'll put this box here so you can kind of see it on camera. We didn't only make Aaron pick up trash. I was, you know, I found this zipper pull in a store parking lot. I had to have that. So, you know. So we're going to call it the Chunky Bits box. And my desk is a disaster. And I have probably more Chunky Bits to add to this. But I thought I would just go through it one thing at a time and maybe do it on camera. I think there's a battery in here. How do I get the battery out? Oh, there it is. Couple batteries, see? So make sure if you're doing this and you're removing batteries and you live in an area like I do where batteries are hazardous waste, that you dispose of them properly, of course. It just seems wrong to break this, but it doesn't work. See, we all have chunky bits, don't we? I just was, you know, buying them at the salvage store. I should be getting them for free from things that break around the house. How silly has that been, buying them? Come on. That sucker is glued down really well. I do have my little hammer out if I needed it. I was going to try not to hammer things on camera. I thought that might be bad. So when I got back, I need exercise. When I got back from Las Vegas, my iPad died. I guess that it was its last hurrah. So I am watching the comments on my new iPad Air 2, which I wasn't planning on buying right now, but I don't know if I can do without an iPad. I'm getting exercise right now, Michael. I got to tell you. Oh, I got to tell you. Okay, did you guys hear that? A whole bunch of the rhinestones came off, and they went everywhere. Hopefully they didn't go in my tea. I don't think they did. Holy cow. That was fun. We're awake now. Oh, yeah, I've got one of those, the bolt bucket. When my father-in-law passed away, he had this just big random box full of bolts and stuff that we inherited and took home. We still have it. And when I need parts, sometimes my husband's kind of given me free rein to go out there and take whatever I want. Holy cow, that was messy. I hope none of these went in my tea. I'll be drinking rhinestones later. Yeah, the little PCB board looked like a ladybug, didn't it? I think it did. All right, what's inside this one? I guess from watching the other videos, all mice are not created equally, so they're all a little different inside. Let's see how we can get into this once more. Something's breaking. Yeah, that's how I felt. My husband's never going to use all of the nuts and bolts in his bolt box. Are you kidding me? Have enough for eternity. But this way I can get some free PCB boards and stuff too without having to go to a salvage store to buy stuff. Because we do have those. I live in the heart of Silicon Valley. We have computer salvage places I can go get stuff like this from. But if I have broken appliances, why am I not just using them? Because everything's got computer chips in it. I am Pacific Standard Time in California. It is 1 o'clock, about just after 1 o'clock here. It's 1:11. Let's take that out. Oh, that's the little antenna thing. Huh. Okay, well, we're going to throw that away. Oh, got it. It's kind of fun. You know, get your frustrations out disassembling things and giving them a good whack. This one has like a little light bulb inside of it. I guess the other one must too. No, it doesn't. Nice. That sounds delicious. I don't think the family ate anything healthy while I was gone. I came home and the refrigerator looked exactly how it was when I left. Yeah, I think men just like tools. top this off. Just if you're going to do this, try to do it without, you know, bleeding on anything. Bleeding is not the goal here. Yeah, I think they did lots of takeout. I know at least once he did, because he told me he did. But there was no, I mean, the fridge looked the same as when I left, and there was no vegetables or anything. So first thing we did when I got home was, besides go buy the new iPad, was go to the grocery store. Okay, let's cut this wire. There's 2 little springs in here I'm gonna want to get out. It's been nice here in California, and of course in Nevada too it was nice. Except for the day that it was really sunny but windy. Oh my God. I thought it was going to blow us all off the sidewalk. It was so windy. Ha. Got it. Still a spring inside there. Let's see if we can get it out. I want that spring, people. So I've got this DirecTV remote. There we go. It stopped working. And I knew it was in the garage when I decided to do this. Husband said I could have it because it's a paperweight now. Good for you. My blood sugar's been borderline high, you know, for a while. I'm not diagnosed with diabetes or even pre-diabetic, but it's high, a little higher than it should be. So unless I'm on vacation, I try to watch what I eat, and it's not getting any worse. It's, I think, getting a little bit better, which is good. Let's see if we can, I wonder if we can pop these. I want these buttons. Do they come off? Maybe I have to open it first. Oh, I see screws. I don't know if this screwdriver might be too big though. Let's see. Yeah, right? I think the rhinestones already landed in my tea. It's a good thing I have my glasses on. I'd probably miss some of these screws. There we go. Got it. It's coming out. So yeah, at least I came home to a clean house and it wasn't disgusting and filthy. Thank goodness. Just had an empty refrigerator. Okay, DirecTV really doesn't want you to get the thing apart. I took the screws out. That didn't help. Oh, wait. I think I found it in. Ha-ha. Ha-ha. Got it. Yeah, for most of us, getting your health under control is not, you know, yes, it's always a matter of what you eat, but for most of us who are artists, it's more of a matter of lack of exercise. That doesn't mean you shouldn't watch what you eat, but you need to make sure you go out and get some exercise too. Oh, that's pretty cool. The buttons are like on a piece of rubber. Alrighty. I have no idea, Dee. Maybe some journal charms, maybe some jewelry. Some of them, like this bit, is rubber, and I'm thinking this might be nice to use to make impressions like on the jelly plate. This whole thing feels like rubber with the buttons on it. It's all one piece. If I can get it out. I'm sure Grandma did not expect that I would be doing this with her little screwdriver. Oop, screw. Oh, shit's popping out all over the place. Sorry. You guys might have to watch my foul language on the live broadcast, because I think that the girls are a bad influence. I came home swearing like a sailor. Not that I haven't been known to do that otherwise, but I kind of got out of the habit. My husband thinks it's funny. Usually I just tell my husband, can you take this apart for me? But I thought it would be fun to do it myself for a change. Just I got to pry the cover off. I'm sure there's probably a hidden screw somewhere I don't know about, or a clip or something. So there's something called a jelly plate. It's a printing plate that you can spread ink on or paint, and you can use it to create patterns on paper or on your journal pages. And it's spelled G-E-L-L-I. There's a million YouTube videos on it, so you might want to look it up. Oh, good. So see, I won't scare you. That's good to know. Oh, there we go. Part of it came off. Oh yeah, see, screws. I knew there had to be hidden screws in there somewhere. All righty, let's get them out. Yeah, I used to swear like a sailor before I had kids and had a daycare business, and that forces you to clean up your language. And then I did the whole YouTube channel thing, and I wasn't sure I should be seen on camera swearing, so I got out of the habit. We have DirecTV, but we bought this remote and it's no longer functioning, and so we got a new one, and they don't want the old one back, so I get to play with it. Yeah, you have kids, and that, you know, makes you clean up your language. So my Chunky Bits box is not going to be nearly as full as Kathy's when she showed hers on camera. Or Shannon, I'm sure, has a massive collection. And it's fun to buy bits and pieces from like American Science and Surplus, or if you have a local salvage place. But it's more fun if you can get them free and not spend any money. Yeah, I know my husband asked me while I was in Vegas if I, watched any TV. I said, nope, we didn't have the TV on, not once. I don't know that he believed me. That's pretty cool. Now, see, I could see this, take some of the back pieces off and, cut this into chunks. It would be, make interesting pieces in some jewelry or something, or it could even make an interesting bookmark. Hey, Angie, how are you? We're disassembling things this morning. All right, so now I have this thing. Before I got hurt at American Greetings, I did a lot of arts and crafts shows every year. And back in the days before we had the square thing or I have the PayPal one, which is a triangle that you put on your smartphone. You know, you rang up all your sales on an adding machine. And so this was my adding machine I used, and it's no longer functioning. So it is trash. And again, just like with the batteries, because I live in California, anything with electronics in it has to be disposed of in a particular way. You can't just throw it in the garbage. So there was all these things were kind of in a pile in the garage, and I'm like, why don't I just disassemble them and keep the bits, and I can throw the plastic away. You know, every year, Becky, I have a birthday, and my mother, who is, let's see, 22 years older than me. She was 22 when she had me, so I'm 52, so she's 74. Every year she calls me and says, "How old are you?" And then I tell her, and she says, "Shit, I'm getting old." She's just, and it just goes by so fast. I agree with that. My daughter's 21. She'll be 22 soon. I can't believe it. Yeah, I got a physical I have to go to soon. It's gotten to where I hate the doctor. It's probably part of getting older. I used to not mind going because I wasn't sick. I can't stand going. They always find something wrong, even if you feel okay. Alrighty. This time, instead of prying it open without taking the screws out, how about if we try to take the screws out first? If I can. These are deep in there. I might need a different screwdriver. Garbage. That sucker's in there good. This screwdriver is too fat to get down there. I'm the oldest, and I'm always the one that's responsible for everything. I keep telling them, you're all over 40. Why am I still responsible for shit? You're all adults with your own families. Stop calling me. They just laugh and tell me I'm the oldest. It's my responsibility. No, okay, so you want to take all precautions with doing this. You want to make sure you're keeping your fingers out of the way, sharp instruments out of the way, and unplug them. That's a good point, Angie. Thank you. Unplug them. They should be non-functioning, unplugged electronics. Don't work on stuff that's still plugged into an outlet, for God's sake, and avoid, keep your fingers out of the way. Well, there's a battery right there. Let's take that out. I can't get these other two screws out. Ah. That's a cool piece. With any arts and crafts project, you should take precautions, but especially when you're disassembling things like this, you really want to be careful to be mindful of sharp objects, have things unplugged. Make sure what you're disassembling nobody wants and is really non-functional. Don't go grab the remote from the family room and disassemble it. The husband might get annoyed at that. I think that one's got to come out the other way. All right. I'm going to have to go run and go get one of my other screwdrivers. I'll be right back. I'm back. All right. Yes, I am. Even when I am sewing, I wear eye protection. Even if it's just my reading glasses, something in front of my eyes, because I have even had sewing needles pop and fly up towards my face. So always take precautions. So that's a good idea, Angie. Also, like garage sales, you know, if you buy something that way, who cares if it works or not, because you're going to take it apart anyways. It doesn't matter. Haha. No, needles in the eyeballs are not fun. So yeah, definitely you should, when you're doing things like this, you should always have some kind of protection on your face, over your eyes. No problem. Welcome. Why am I killing this thing? So these are all non-functioning electronics from my house. They were in a pile in my garage, waiting for proper disposal. I live in California, so you can't just toss stuff out in the garbage can. And I was watching Kathy Rose, I think, and I know Shannon does this too, where they disassemble stuff and save the PCB boards and stuff for other mixed media art projects. And they have kind of a Chunky Bits box. So I thought, you know, I should start my own Chunky Bits box and disassemble all those things in my garage that aren't working anymore to use in mixed media art, maybe make some journal charms and stuff out of some of the bits. Like on here on this PCB board, you know, you could take some of these little circuit things off and glue them to things, or if you have some, what do you call them, the jewelry, I have some. They're flat metal on the back and they have a little tiny lip on the edge, and then you could put some of these little tiny electronic parts in them and float it into some resin, maybe with an inspirational word or something. You can use some of this wire in jewelry or journal charms or keychains. I don't think I want this thing, but I'm going to leave it on there right now. Yeah, I don't do that. That sounds like that hurts. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's not my original idea, but I've been seeing, you know, Shannon Green does this a lot. And I knew that. Then I saw Kathy Rose taking stuff apart on her channel before I went to Las Vegas, and thought, well, that would be much cheaper than buying stuff from like American Science and Surplus, or going out to the salvage store to buy stuff, which is a little bit of a drive from my house. I live in Silicon Valley, you know, computer central basically for the whole world, but that doesn't mean we have a computer salvage place on every corner. So, and when I do go, I usually spend too much money, and this will cost me nothing. Exactly. These bits would definitely make a cool journal cover. You could epoxy them to a journal cover. They would be very cool. Okay, these are all connected, so they're all going to have to be unconnected. Wire cutters. I should have gotten my big metal snips out, but I don't want to go running back out to the garage again. Ah, got it. That piece is kind of cool. No idea what I'm going to do with that. And I'm tempted to get rid of it, but I think I'm going to save it. It's kind of fun to just play with. All right, let's get this out. Okay, cool. You know, these PCB boards especially, you could, you know, clean some of the sticky up, pokey outy bits, technical term, right? And, you know, glue them to a substrate, like a nice piece of balsa wood or chipboard, thick chipboard, epoxy them down, and they would make an interesting journal cover. Oh, more screws. Hidden screws. That's not very nice. And I wasn't going to come on camera today. I was going to clean all the stuff up from my trip. I've got the other side of my desk that way is literally covered with stuff. But I just thought I would, you know, not do that today. Haha. We're getting there. Whoa, there go all the buttons. Did you see that? Okay, let's just get all those buttons out. I'll put those in there. I think some fell on the floor. I thought some fell on the floor. Oh yeah, there they are. They would be very cool coasters. I like that idea, especially if you have big ones like this one. Now look at this. This is another piece of rubber from under the buttons, but it would make a cool printing plate. Another button. Alrighty, let's get these disconnected from each other. Next time you all remind me to go get my big metal snips, because some of this would be easier with those. I could just cut shit in half. Yeah, you could do, definitely you could do sculptures with bits and pieces like this. And, you know, some kind of sculptures would be fun. Little robot wall hangings or some kind of 3D pieces would be a lot of fun. Make sure after you do this that you really wash your hands really well. You don't know if they've used lots of lead solder or something like that, and you don't want to like go eat lunch with lead on your hands. Kind of wondering if this screen comes off. Yeah, so you could make all kinds of fun stuff out of this. There are some fabulous artists out there that do fun stuff with things like this. Whoa. I was wondering what was under there. See, I'm also curious. Let's see. Ah. Yeah, Shannon Green did her mask out of it was bits like this, but she got the bits at American Science and Surplus, I think, mostly. She had some, I think, in her stash. Well, that's kind of a cool piece. It's glass. I'm gonna save that. So there we go. So now I have my own Chunky Bits box to do whatever I want with. Probably make some jewelry with. I've got some batteries to dispose of and a free roll of paper to do something with. So look around your house. You might have some bits and pieces you can do something like this with. Like this is a big one. You could definitely, you know, get rid of some of the pokey outy bits and glue the rest of it down to a piece of felt and use it for a coaster. It would actually be interesting. This is a cool pattern. I've got a lid here somewhere. Here we go. So there's my Chunky Bits box. Now, because I came home and I had to buy a new iPad, because if you weren't here for the beginning of the broadcast, then you don't know that I came home from Las Vegas and my iPad was fine when I was there, and I came home and it was broken. So one of the things I had to go out when I came home right away is buy a new iPad. So I have all of these. These are for iPad 2. I have back covers and then the magnetic thing that goes on the front. I have two. I have this one with the purple. This purple one is pretty worn, but the back is in good condition. I have this one with a pink. Again, the magnetic cover is kind of worn, but the pink is in great condition. These are my original artwork. And then I have this brand new smart cover. These are all for iPad 2. If somebody out there can use them, please private message me on Facebook or email me at my email address, artist@GinaBAhrens.com. And Michael, I hope you feel better. Take it easy. And yeah, you know, some of these bits and pieces, you could definitely do that. You could take this piece and do some kind of interesting little palette thing with it. This would be fun to paint with. I think it would just make fun impressions with the paint. And I didn't, you know, who would have thought this little piece of rubber would be in there? I had no idea. So you never know what you're going to find and where you're going to find it. So if anybody can use these, let me know. I don't want to just donate them to Goodwill unless I have to. And I think that's it for this morning. I just thought I'd come on and chat while I was disassembling stuff. There's going to be a few videos coming up, some of them with footage in them from Las Vegas. We went to Viva Las Vegas Stamps while we were there. We visited with Erin from Imperfect Impulses while we were there. We did a lot of shopping while we were there. They have a really great store in Las Vegas area that we like called Tokyo Discount. There's actually 3 of them. And we liked it so much we ended up going to all 3 of them. So there'll be some kind of haul videos. I'm not huge on haul videos, but we did get some really great stuff I want to share with you guys so you know what to look for when you're out doing your shopping in your area, and give you some ideas of what you could look for that you might really find you like using. I had a really good time. I always like going to Las Vegas, and I love it there. Well, I hope your doctor visit goes well, and you know it'll be on YouTube later. I'm not sure yet if we're going to continue with the paint swatches or if we're going to just paint a picture. We may just paint a picture and then continue with the swatches next week, because I do have more paint to swatch. And Spectrum Noir, right? If you didn't see me on social media, right before I left for Vegas, literally the day before I left, I got all these from them. So we're going to do a review. I already had some Spectrum Noir markers, so we're going to do a review of them. These are their aqua markers. So that'll be coming up soon. And my desk is, I said that already, didn't I? My desk is a disaster. I also got some molds while I was in Vegas, and I'll be trying, Ann Williamson, Nancy Vastine, and a few other people have done the modeling paste, like lace things from these. And I got a few molds. Cindy Utter and I both got molds while we were in Vegas, so I will be trying that. In fact, I may go ahead and put some in these today, and because I want to let them dry for a couple days, and maybe Wednesday we'll pull them out and see what happens. I have a couple of different kinds of modeling paste. So I know Ann Williamson used Deco Art. I have Golden too, so I'm not sure which one's going to be better. But yeah, if any of you out there have an iPad 2 and you'd like a case with a smart cover, like I said, I've got the purple one, I've got this one with the pink cover, and then I've got a blue cover. So PM me, because I don't know what I'm going to do with them now. I have an Air 2 now. They don't fit. With a boring black cover, because that's what they had. All right, you guys go out today. Don't forget to do the most important thing besides look for fun stuff to take apart and start a Chunky Bits box. And definitely, you know, these Chunky Bits will be coming up in future projects. Like I said, I want to take the smash pennies that I put in here and make probably the poker chips that I put in here, and along with some of the other parts. And I think I want to start making some journal charms and stuff. So look for that to come in future projects. But while you're out looking for things to take apart, please take precautions. Make sure you have eye protection on. Make sure the item is unplugged, that you take the batteries out if there are batteries in it first thing, that you dispose of anything like the batteries or other hazardous waste you may come across properly, and that you don't hurt yourself. Keep your fingers out of the way. I'm in Central California. I'm an hour south of San Francisco. I'm in San Jose, California. And make sure you have the permission. If don't go grabbing the remote out of the family room and disassembling it, or the computer off the computer desk. I think your husband might have, or partner may have an issue with that. If you try to do that, I don't think it's going to go over well. I really don't. I did get a couple of more molds. Let's see. We went to Hobby Lobby in Las Vegas, which we didn't have to do because, we have that here, but that's okay. So I got these 2 cake molds, and then Cindy shared these with me. Were really big molds, and she shared these bits with me. It was a blast. That's a good question, and we're here to chat, so we can do that as long as you want. So, my favorite, okay, so that's a complicated question. So if you're talking about my favorite arts and crafts store, Hobby Lobby in Morgan Hill. There is one more Hobby Lobby like in Dublin or something, I think, but I live near the Morgan Hill store. I'm 15, 20 minutes in traffic. So Hobby Lobby. Why? They have the best selection of mixed media and fine art supplies. Plus, I can breathe in the store. They don't have lots of potpourri or other things that make me wheeze. And they have great ventilation, so I don't have to wear a mask in the store. So that's my favorite arts and crafts store. We do have Michael's very close by and Joann's, and I will go into them if I'm looking for something specific I know they have there. But usually my stop is Hobby Lobby. Now, my favorite fine art store, if I'm going to stay closer to home, is Lenz Art in Santa Cruz, Lenz. They've been in business since, I think, 1969. They remind me very much of a store that we went into when we were in Las Vegas called Desert Art Supply. It's a mom and pop place stuffed to the gills with arts and crafts, art supplies. Anything that you could possibly think of, Lenz Art has. And Desert Art in Las Vegas is the same thing. Now, Lenz Art only has one location in Santa Cruz. When we were at Desert Art Supply, we heard from the owner at the one store that we went to that they have a second location. I didn't find out where that was, but I'm going to be, the next time I go, I'm going to find out where it is. I'm going to go there. We do have University Art in San Jose. They don't have as big a selection as Lenz Art of things. I prefer Lenz Art. There is Palace Art and Office Supply in Santa Cruz. It's actually down the street from Lenz Art. That's a nice place to go. It's not strictly an art supply store, but I do like it. If you want to drive into San Francisco, then of course you're going to be up near Daiso, and there's some really big ones in San Francisco. So go there. It's not an art supply store, but go there. They also have Dick Blick, Utrecht, and Flax art supply. Oh, good to know, Michelle. That's going to be for the next trip. So there's some really great art supply stores in San Francisco if you want to drive up that way. I don't do that by myself because I can't stand driving in San Francisco. So I have to get somebody to drive me or go with friends. If you're going to go to San Francisco to go art supply shopping, go to Scrap. Holy cow, people. Scrounger's Center for Reusable Art Parts. In San Francisco, it's an art salvage place. It is a dirty, full warehouse full of art salvage. Everything from paint and brushes and stencils to architectural salvage, bottles, everything you could possibly imagine a mixed media artist might be interested in, they have at Scrap. It's a nonprofit, so if you can bring a donation with you and drop stuff off before you bring stuff home. It's one of those places where you fill up your bag or your box and they look at it and go, $10. So there are some really great places here to go to. My favorite ones are not super close to home. Santa Cruz is about 40, Lenz Art's about 45 minutes from here. I usually go to Hobby Lobby first and hope they have it and then mail order it unless I really have the time in my schedule to drive over to Santa Cruz. And yeah, Las Vegas was a blast. We had a really fun time. Scrap. It's if you just Google Scrap San Francisco or Scrap SF, it's going to pop up. They have a website. I can't recommend them enough. The people there are super nice. And it is the most interesting art salvage place you'll probably ever go to. I do know there is another similar business in Berkeley. I don't ever remember what the name of it is, but there is one. It may pop out if you Google art salvage, pop up. But scrap is my favorite. Yeah, Michelle breaking her tailbone. We kept teasing her about breaking her butt. Now's your broken butt. Oh boy. I'll leave her to tell that story if she hasn't said it on tape yet that's going to air. But yeah, Michelle, look at my chunky art bits box. I put my poker chips in here and my smashed pennies. Just from stuff that I had laying around the desk. I made the husband promise he wouldn't throw out while I was gone. I would recommend it. It's a fabulous place. Look up their, go to their website and look up their hours and everything. And if you, yeah, aren't they? And if you can, you know, make a donation to them while you're there, it's a fabulous, they support teachers and students, as well as artists. And like I said, they're a nonprofit, so give them some support. They do have classes there. I've never made it to one yet, but they always look interesting. And Michelle, if you know anybody who has an iPad 2 that needs a case or a cover, you know, I had to buy a new one. You know that already. So I have all these cases now that have no home. I don't think Bob would be okay with me putting them on his iPad. And my poor iPad's got a plain black cover. I even brought home coffee. You know, hotel coffee is not good for drinking. Really, it tastes gross. But you know what it's good for? Making coffee ink. Yeah, I think I might, Michelle. I'll ask Jerry if it's okay first. So you can take this coffee from, you know, bad hotel room coffee, put it into a saucepan with some water and let it simmer and reduce down to by a third or to a half, and then strain out the coffee grounds and put it into a spray bottle or a dropper bottle with a little bit of glycerin, and you have a good coffee colored dye or ink. You're welcome, Genesis. No problem. All right. I think that's it for now. I got to try to clean up some more of this mess. Does anybody have any questions? I think I'm going to try some of these. I'll let you know how it goes. Maybe on Watercolor Wednesday. If I do them today, they should be dry by then to pull off. If you haven't seen Ann Williamson's video on doing these modeling paste molds yet over her channel, I recommend you go over there. I think it's just Ann Williamson or Annalise Creates. She did this recently, so I recommend you go take a look at it. And somewhere around here, I have more of those molds, so I'm gonna have to pull it out. I love scrap. Oh, there's a scrap in Portland. Nancy, you should not have told me that. I'm gonna be in Portland in May. Holy crap, I'm in trouble. Little known fact, my parents live in Rochester, Washington, halfway between Portland and Seattle. Who doesn't love to go to Portland to go to Powell's Books and Voodoo Donuts? And Seattle, of course, is the home of Daniel Smith. You are going to be staying a couple of days on the way home, Michelle. I might have to. We're going to stay up there for a couple of days and visit with the parents. And I already made my husband promise we could do some things like go to the Daniel Smith store. So we're going to have to. All right, that's it for today, you guys. I am going to make my modeling paste molds. I'm going to simmer up some travel coffee ink and maybe try to put some stuff away. I don't know. I'm kind of wanting to do projects with the stuff as I go, that it's on that side of the desk, and do a project, then put it away, and do a project. That way I can sort of share it with you all without doing a haul video, because I really detest haul videos. You all have a great day. Don't forget the most important thing. Do something nice for yourself because you deserve it. All right. I will talk to you all later. Have a great day. Have a great week if I don't talk to you before the weekend. And I will talk to you later. I'm going to go look for more bits to take apart out in the garage where the broken stuff is. All right. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.